Hi, my name's Dave Morris with College Athletic Advisor, and this is episode 3 of our podcast series, Navigating Life in Pandemic. And in this series, we'll talk about making your final college choice. This is an episode that's really for you if you're a senior and you're struggling to make that final decision and you can't do some of the things that you were planning to do, visit another campus, go back and visit one more time, take an accepted student stay on campus rather than virtually. Any of those types of things, and you're sitting down and you're trying to figure out what that final decision, you narrowed it down to maybe 5 schools or 3 schools or sometimes more than that, and now you can really only attend one at a time. And so let's talk about that. This is one of the rare times in your life where you're going to be courted, where you have more than one good option. You're choosing between good and good, and there's different really terrific opportunities for you. And you get to pick one. And while that can be a source of stress, and my heart goes out to you, I understand how tough this time is. Lots of people want to have input in those decisions. You want to make a choice. You're trying to imagine a situation that you've never been in before, going off to college. And it's a jump into the unknown. And I want to share with you that one of the basic things for most people is that this is an opportunity. You're going to get this right. Whatever school you choose is going to turn out to be the right decision. It'll become the right decision for you because you'll go there. And that's what's going to make it the right decision. So to the extent you can enjoy having really great options in your life and being courted and having lots of choices, please wallow in this just a little bit if you can. Because there aren't that many times you have really great options and you get to choose whichever one. And whichever one you pick, I want to really underscore that it'll work. You'll graduate in 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, but you'll graduate, you'll get where you end up wanting to go. You may change your mind along the way. But whatever decision you make, you're going to make that the right decision. What do you do if you're stuck? What do you do if you're down to 2 or 3 choices or however many, and you really don't feel like you can make a decision? Maybe you've made a chart and you've written lots of pros and cons down on a piece of paper and all those kinds of things, and you really wanted to go and visit one more time. And this is such a fraught period in our history as a country and as a species, frankly, that how do you decide, what's the right choice and what's going to happen? My best advice is go with your gut. What's your first reaction? What was the school you really thought of first where you're like, I want to go there? The other thing, if you're really not sure, I would have said, when you visit, look around, but you can do it online or you can think back if you were on these campuses. Look around at the schools, pick the school that has the students that you want to look like in 4 years. Whether you saw them in person or they're on their website or whatever it is, because you go to a school and after 4 or 5 years, you're going to look like that. So if that's what you want to look like, that's the right fit. Finally, let's talk about a couple red flags. Most people, I believe, are really looking at choices for schools that are great and terrific, and you really can't go wrong. But I do want to talk about some red flags that should make you really rethink what your choices are. One of the big ones is cost. If you're looking at a school and financially you're going to have to put a substantial amount of money basically on a credit card to go there, please, there's a better option for you. If you're paying an interest rate that's higher than about 8% on money that you're borrowing to go to college, that's a very high risk proposition. From a standpoint of college advising, as college athletic advisor, we would advise you as a client not to attend that college, even if it's someplace you really want to be, because that's a school that doesn't sufficiently want you. And sometimes that's a good indicator, and sometimes it's just a smart financial decision. Do something a little bit less expensive and come back to them in 2 years. The other red flag is if you are looking at colleges, and obviously we're in a very disrupted time right now, And it's entirely possible that schools will be online again in the fall because travel restrictions will continue and it'll be difficult for schools to get everybody to campus in August or early September. We certainly hope that's not the case, but I think colleges are certainly contingency planning right now, and I think students have every right to contingency plan for themselves. If you look at that college and you think, I don't want to pay tuition to go to that college online, uh, it pays to look at accepting the college and committing to go there, and then asking for a deferral or a gap year. And that doesn't mean you can't take classes at your local community college. I think it's legitimate to say, I'm not sure it makes sense to pay top dollar to take classes online at one college when I can take them at our local community college online for, $25 or $50 a credit hour or less than that. I think financially that can make some sense. And if you can defer your admission, you can hold your spot for when you can actually go to school there and take some online classes and knock out some gen ed requirements and things like that, if that's what you want to do. So those are two kind of big red flag things for me. Thank you again. This is Dave Morris for College Athletic Advisor. We appreciate you taking time with us today.